Hello, future CAs. It took me 10 hours of work to prepare this schedule so that your preparation for your CA Inter May 25, September 25, or Jan 26 becomes simple and smart and introducing you all to the Triple S Simple Smart Schedule. It is just one page for group 1 and just one page for group 2, irrespective for whichever class that you get. Let me explain what this is. Usually I don't ask students to stay till the end, but this is going to be one such videos that if you stay till the end, your preparation is going to become simple, smart and schedule. So let's get into Triple S. But before that, I want to talk to you about the challenges that is there in the other schedule that you may be following. In our schedule, we don't have any nonsense, no daily agenda, and no daily stress. Sir, what are you saying? Why it took me 10 hours? I spoke to almost 50 to 60 students to understand what is the challenge they face before the exams, especially recording students. So, what we started doing, I understood what they were doing basically is they get day 1 in accounts you watch AS7, in law you watch FEMA, day 2 you watch DT, PGBP, day 3 you eat mutton biryani and then you sleep, day 4 take rest. I want to ask you, are you all robos guys for me to tell you what you have to do? For example, I don't feel like taking break on day 4, I feel like studying, or I feel like taking break on day 3 or day 7. I can't change. It's so rigid, right? So our schedule is going to be very, very flexible. What are you saying, sir? What is the flexibility in this? Let me give another example. When you get this 60-day schedule, what if you get fever and 2 days you are not able to study, or you missed the 2 to 3 days because you have to travel for some function or meet some friend? Then again, what will happen? You will immediately get stress because you missed the 2 days, because you missed your daily agenda. How many of you felt this? When we give a 60-day schedule, you will hardly be able to catch up with that. So that's why I'm saying no nonsense. In this Triple S, we are more flexible, or I would say extremely flexible, and optionally, it is also integrated seamlessly, like how the iPhone gets integrated with its Apple Watch and AirPods with Dira test series, which is of course optional. You can take it if you want, about which I will talk in the end. Sir, now let's get to the Triple S, sir. What is this Triple S? How does it work? We want to see the PDF, sir. Please explain the PDF. But before that, I have to give you background because I have to teach you how simple this is. We have basically categorized the syllabus of group 1, group 2, and even each subject within the group into just 4 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. Just 4 parts, and each part approximately covers 25% of your syllabus. Sir, I am not able to understand. Let me explain. Let me take group 1, same thing for group 2, or let me take group 2 for example. Okay, both are same guys. Okay, if you take group 2 for example, costing with in our class is 145 hours, auditing is going to be 80 hours, SM is going to be roughly 25 hours only, and FM is going to be 75 hours. So totally it is 325 hours of learning for group 2 and roughly 450 to 470 hours for group 1. Now what we have done, look at this beautifully. We have categorized on the left top here. Can you see part 1 over here? Now in this part 1, we cover all the subjects. For example, in part 1, in costing, some topics are given. In auditing, some topics are given. In SM, 1 chapter is given. FM, 2 chapters is given. So instead of learning like this costing, we are going to learn like this. Part 1, we are going to learn for 94 hours. How many hours, guys? 94 hours. For example, let me take group 1. If you look at full advanced accounts, it is 165 hours. Law is roughly around 90 hours. 125 for DT and 90 for indirect tax, all latest recordings. Instead of you studying advanced accounts every day, we have given part 1 over here, which covers all the 4 subjects, accounts law, DT and IDT, in proper proportion in such a way that part 1 becomes 25% of your syllabus, part 2 is 25% of your syllabus. We have mix over here, meaning, for example, in part 1, if you see, tax is going to be for almost 70 hours. That is why law I have reduced for just 13 hours. But in part 2, direct tax is going to be for only 30 hours. Direct tax and indirect tax just 30 hours. Therefore, law is going to be for 30 hours. So we balance it out. In one part, there will be more of tax. In other part, there will be more of law. We balance out in such a way. Look at this, how beautifully it is done. Part 1 is just 120 hours. Part 2 is 115. Part 3 is 120. And part 4 is 115. Total is 470 hours. Instead of learning subject wise like this, we have broken down your syllabus into 4 parts. Same for group 2. Same for group 2. Sir, okay sir, now what is the next step? In our app, for all the subjects, accounts, law, tax, audit, costing, FMSM, we only have 4 folders. I am not going to put chapter wise and all. 4 folders, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. In part 1, what is going to be there? Whatever is going to be there in the PDF above. So, all you have to do is finish these 4 parts. The minute you finish part 1, the letter P comes to you. The minute you finish part 2, A joins you. Then part 3, S joins you. Part 4, another S joins you. And you are going to pass your exams if you finish the 4 parts. Sir, how are we going to do this, sir? You may be a student who took only subscription or only Fusion subscription, or let's say regular class of 6 months or 9 months group combo in the CA classroom. Doesn't matter. This schedule works for everybody. I won't say it's only for you guys. That's why I said all attempts. But I will explain this with the help of Fusion subscription. Keep watching guys. In the end of the video, I have that bonus optional seamless integration. It will blow your mind first time in India. But before I get there, understand this. I told 4 parts. Fusion subscription is what you all know by now. It is 60 days of plus 30 days. You get 90 days class. We can finish within 60 days. How, sir? First 15 days you finish part 1. Next 15 days part 2. Next 15 days part 3. Next 15 days part 4. Is it possible, sir, in 15 days part 1? Yes. How, sir? Very easy. I told maximum is 120 hours for first part. Divided by 15 days. You have to study 8 hours per day. If it's group 2, 94 hours divided by 15 days. Roughly only about 6 hours per day. That's it. Now, the question is, in this 15 days, what you're going to watch is going to be within this part 1. That's your choice. Today you do direct tax. Tomorrow you do law. Because the schedule, if it's telling you to do something today, you may not have the mood. When I used to study, each day my mood will change. So based on the mood, I will pick the subject. So there is no stress also. Let's say within the 15 days, 2 days you didn't study, no problem, 13 days to catch up. That means you have short-term goals. So 15 days part 1, 15 days part 2. Now what happens? 60 days you will finish the full syllabus. And then balance time, the remaining 30 days if you have left, you will do test and revision. Sir, I couldn't finish in 60 days, sir. No problem. Don't take the stress. You finished in 70 days. Balance 20 days. You revise. Sir, I am not a Fusion subscription student. I took your class for 6 months, sir. No problem. Finish these 4 parts in 6 months. 1.5 month, 1.5 month, 1.5 month, 1.5 month. Or finish everything in 3 months and revise. Now comes the magic, guys. The magic first time in India. I told you each part is 25% syllabus. The moment you finish part 1, look at this. You will write one test for part 1. Sir, I will study the whole syllabus, then find out my mistakes in presentation. Are you a stupid fellow? In school days, you wrote quarterly exams, identified mistakes, improved, went to half yearly. Wrote half yearly exam, then went to annual exam. So, you will finish part 1. This is only optional for you guys if you want. Schedule ends over here. After part 1 gets over, look at this. After each part is completed, that means after each 25% of the overall syllabus of the group is completed, we will write quarterly exams. In Dira bridge test, we will conduct 4 tests into 25% syllabus. That means part 1 1 test, part 2 1 test, part 3 and part 4. So 4 tests. So within these 60 days, in your house itself, after the first 15 days, you will again do one revision and write one test just for 3 hours. You will upload in our website. We will correct and give you feedback so that you will apply those points during part 2 itself. Instead of waiting for syllabus, writing mock test and failing in that. Fail in the quarterly exam like school so that your annual exam is done well. This is your Dira bridge test, guys. So this is what you will get additional. For this, I'm sure you all already know, we have the most affordable CA classes and test series. CA class at CA Classroom and test series at Dira Test. But how do we get that? If you are taking Fusion subscription, don't worry. The 100 marks mock test is anyway free. It's included in this price. So it will be without, everything will be default. Without test series, without books, only 6,999, you know this. If you want this optional test to add on to your schedule, you will add with Dira test. Our team will call you. We will send you an introduction video explaining more in detail how to integrate that into your preparation. A customized schedule will be given for you guys. No sir, I already purchased your class. I purchased it somewhere else. I purchased it, let's say 3 months, 6 months. I want only this test series, sir. I will follow part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. No problem. Because you already have the class. Same price, extra 1.5 per group. You will take the test series. You will get the same thing. 4 into 25%, 2 into 50%, 1 into 100 marks test. Okay. Now it's not 7 tests, guys. Don't worry. We will mix the test. That means it's part 1 over, guys. So once full part 1 is done, you will write them together. So you will write multiple tests together. That means what I'm trying to say, in your 100 marks test, after completing part 1, 50 marks will be accounts, 50 marks will be law. So you will combine 2 subjects and write together. That means you will write 3 times all the parts. Don't worry, regarding the test series integration, if you are taking that separate video, I will explain. But this is mainly regarding the schedule, guys. I hope you understood. So with this, we are launching the simple smart schedule. If you understood, let me know in the comments, guys. Basically, in simple, finish each part, move on to the next part, and that's about it. And the classes in the app is going to be like this. Whatever doubts you have, guys, let me know in the comments. Happy to help you out. Thank you so much. Keep going for exams, guys. That's about it.